Let's talk about Gerrit Cole. He goes into the season tonight, his first ever in pinstripes, a dream come true. Do you remember, I think it was 7 years ago, when Gerrit Cole signed with the Yankees and they had that opening press conference and he held up a sign that said, I'm a Yankees fan, and it's from when he was a little boy at Yankee Stadium. And that's after the Yankees had signed him to $324 million contract, $1 million below Giancarlo Stanton, by the way, for the highest paid Yankee on a notional basis. So Gerrit Cole finally got his wish. Have you ever been through something in life where you wanted it so badly and you worked at it? You put yourself in a position to get it, and the chase was so incredible and exhilarating. And then all of a sudden you get exactly what you want, and the air sort of falls out of the balloon. It deflates a little bit. You had built up your adrenaline so much, and then reality set in. The reality is that Gerrit Cole is being asked to lead a rotation that is full of question marks. Their number 2 starter, Luis Severino, is out for the season with Tommy John. They've got Masahiro Tanaka, who got hit in the dome on a comebacker during the second spring training, and he's going to miss the first week of the season. They've got James Paxton, who would not have made opening day. I lost a wait to see when, in fact, I should have won the wait to see because I knew James Paxton wouldn't be back when his agent said he'd be back. I'll let you guess who his agent is. James Paxton is a middle of the rotation. Jay Hatt, middle of the rotation. Jordan Montgomery, bottom of the rotation. So Gerrit Cole is being asked not to do what he did with the Astros, which was to be one of many. He's asked to be the one and only. By the way, he could actually call the Bahamas and maybe ever heard of the one and only in the Bahamas? I think there was a Bond film with Daniel Craig that filmed there with the guy they play poker, Casino Royale, and the guy with blood out of his eye. That was scary. Great movie. So Gerrit Cole is leading a rotation that is weak, but a lineup that is strong. But he had that in Houston as well. Did the Astros win the World Series? No, the Nationals did. The Astros did get a World Series. Was it trash can related? Not for today. So the pressure on Gerrit Cole is not money related. He's got the 324. It's guaranteed. It's way more than Patrick Mahomes, and it's quite a bit under Mookie Betts. But when he takes the mound and he puts on the pinstripes for real in Washington tonight, he will have the weight of his history on his back and the weight of the franchise history. That's a lot of pressure. What about someone like Aaron Judge? Aaron Judge comes in under a 1-year contract. One of the most famous, if not the most famous athlete in New York right now. He wouldn't have made the start of the season had there been injuries, but now he's ready to go. He had a stiff neck. He had a this. He had a little crink, a little bit. Oh, my shoulder, my knee, my elbow, my head, and my toes. But he's playing. Except he doesn't have the security of a long-term deal. He's playing for his arbitration life. He made $8.5 million this year, but prorated, it's going to be around $4 million. Do the math. So he is waiting for his payday. So he feels pressure to stay healthy because there's a fine line between various injuries that stop you from playing and being known as injury prone. If you're the Yankees, do you give Aaron Judge a 13-year contract right now? I'm a big no. So Aaron Judge has a lot to prove during this 60-game sprint. Giancarlo Stanton, trying to live up to his $325 million contract, having won the MVP in Miami in 2017, having played the majority, 145-plus games in 2018. Last year, obviously, played 18 games, wondering, could he win Comeback Player of the Year? It is shocking that a former MVP could be subject to winning Comeback Player of the Year. But at $324 million, no longer being the biggest contract, $325, of course, $324 is Cole, no longer being the biggest contract, the pressure is off Stanton. He's in a place where he always wanted to be, where every year they have a chance to win. What about the front office? How are they feeling? They have not won a World Series since 2009. That's 11 years. They were not in the World Series in the entire decade of the 2010s, but Brian Cashman continues to be the GM. All of the instability that plagued the Yankees during the 80s is now gone. Brian Cashman's been there since 96. 24 years. I may be wrong, Coca, maybe 95, but I think he was there in 96 when they won, although maybe he only got there in 98 when they won. It's definitely 20 plus years. They won in 00 and they won in 09 and not since. Obviously, huge payrolls, top payrolls. What stops them from winning? What stops them from winning is they've never had enough pitching. Pitching is what gets you these rings. If you're listening to this podcast, you don't see that I'm holding up my ring. I wear the ring, not just weddings and bar mitzvahs. I bring it out opening day and I wear it throughout the playoffs. Because why? I've said this before. Why keep your ring in a place where you can never look at it? Like so many players keep it in their safe and so many executives do. I don't get that. If you got them, smoke them. I have one, so I'm going to wear it opening day. So Brian Cashman has a tremendous amount of pressure on him. When you sign a $324 million free agent, you bring in an ace, which he finally had to do to shore up his starting pitching, and then they get the bad news of losing Severino to Tommy John. When he brought in Happ and Paxton, we said, why are you doing middle of the rotation guys? You don't win a ring that way. We said it on Nothing Personal. We said it on HQ, and it was true. That's CBS Sports HQ. But now they've got a bona fide ace. What will be the excuse if the Yankees don't win the World Series this year or get to the World Series? It was a 60-game sprint. So many variables. We just had that little stretch in August where we won 2 out of 10 games, and that was it. We couldn't recover. That's the thing about this 2020 season. Everybody has an excuse, which is something when you're running a team, you try to eliminate. We would actually meet with players, meet with the front office, and we'd say, listen, let's not start with our laundry list of excuses. We don't have enough fans. We don't have a high enough payroll. We have a hard schedule. We have to fly an hour and a half just to get out of the state of Florida. Excuses, 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 excuses. Excuses are like opinions. Everybody's got one.